We have one of our brothers here, and he's going to touch on, something that I've talked about many times before. Them folks are really getting out of America. They really are. They're packing their bags, they're taking their money, and they going to other countries. But let's go ahead and roll that clip.
Bad day, I mean white people. White people, right? Last time I went to Ghana, most of the flight was full of white people. You understand? When I was in Jamaica, I took one of my friends to the picker office for him to work on his citizenship, his residency, all that stuff. There was nothing but white people in there. They're moving out of the country. That's why they're making a big fuss of it. These white people are taking $500,000, $800,000, $1 million out of the nation and building their lives over in the African and Caribbean nations right now. They're not going to Europe. They're going to Africa and the Caribbeans, while we, as Black Americans, refuse to leave. We're dug in, right? So what's happening is the country is sinking. You understand? The United States is going to put a clamp on that bleeding, and then when we realize we're African and we try to leave, we're not going to be able to go anywhere because you're not going to be able to get your money out of the country. That's what's going to happen. Trust me. That's the future. That's what's going to happen. It's not a fear tactic. Somebody said that to me. Oh, you're trying to make us scared. No, I'm just trying to warn you because I still give a shit about you. Nobody else cares about you. I give a fuck. I still care about my people. I want you to be successful, and I see what's coming. And I want to be able to say in my heart, I want to sleep like a baby at night knowing that I told you, and you just did whatever you wanted, and your ass got clipped. That's your problem. You know what I mean? But I absolve myself at this point. I told y'all what's happening. You ignore me, it's your life.
This brother said it's spot on. In 2018, when I first went to Ethiopia, the plane was full of them folks. 2019, when I went to Kenya for the first time, plane full of them folks. I turn around, I go back to Kenya again. No, hold on. The next one after the pandemic was South Africa. I went to South Africa in 2022. The plane, of course, full of them folks. Then I went back to Kenya in November of 2022. Plane full of them folks. March 2023, went back to South Africa. Plane full of them folks. He's not lying on anything that he's saying. And they are going to African countries and Caribbean countries. They don't even want to be in their own homeland. And that's the interesting part. They have a whole homeland of European countries. They don't want to be over there. They want to be where the black people are at.
Bad day, I mean white people. White people, right? Last time I went to Ghana, most of the flight was full of white people. You understand? When I was in Jamaica, I took one of my friends to the picker office for him to work on his citizenship, his residency, all that stuff. There was nothing but white people in there. They're moving out of the country. That's why they're making a big fuss of it. These white people are taking $500,000, $800,000, $1 million out of the nation and building their lives over in the African and Caribbean nations right now. They're not going to Europe.
And some of these people, believe it or not, don't like black people, some of them. And they still want to go be in black countries. They can't stay away from black people. And I never understood that. It's like, if you don't like black people, why do you want to go around them? They got those who don't like black people going. I've covered in the past that one story covered where you had one of them called a black person the N-word at a Ugandan hotel years ago. Why would you go to Uganda at all if you don't like black people? All those European countries, you can go to Canada, you can go anywhere in the Western world, and you don't have to see a whole lot of black folk, but yet you still want to be around black people. I told you, they have a very, very deep love and satanic hate with black folk. They can't stand us, but they can't be away from us. No matter where we go, they're going to follow behind us. I'm telling you, it's nowhere you can't go that they won't follow you. Let's say you leave and go to another city, here they come trickling in. Like, okay, we over here. Why are you here? You go to the continent of Africa, you look up, they trickling in. But you don't like black people, though. But the ones who are leaving, they see the writing on the wall. They have a lot of rich people. They have got other homes and different citizenships outside the United States because they see the writings on the wall. And one thing what the brother said, I've said that many times before, get your passports, start traveling. Make relationships with people outside the United States in black nations. And if you ever have to pick up and go somewhere, You got relationships. You know how to navigate. You know how to do everything. Because what's going down, let me tell you something, what's going down in Florida right now, that's a test run. All the draconian things that they're doing, trying to set up a special military force, stopping people at the borders of Florida, getting rid of the education. Like, it's literally enacting Nazi Germany. That's exactly what they're doing. And notice Biden haven't said a word about Florida. He haven't sent a DOJ to put lawsuits on them to do nothing. He's been quiet because they agree with it. I told you, Democrats and Republicans are the same. They are the same. Well, black folks, you do need to get your house in order completely. And like the brothers, like some of y'all anchoring yourself down here and listening to people telling you we got to think about government and the government. The American government not gonna do a bunch of nothing for black folk unless you force them to.
And building their lives over in the African and Caribbean nations right now. They're not going to Europe. They're going to Africa and the Caribbean, while we, as black Americans, refuse to leave. We're dug in, right? So what's happening is the country is sinking. You understand? The United States is going to put a clamp on that bleeding. And then when we realize we're African and we try to leave, we're not going to be able to go anywhere because you're not going to be able to get your money out of the country. That's what's going to happen.
But the easiest thing for you to do is prepare yourself and make relationships and get you some property. I don't care if you go buy you an apartment in another country. If that would be the most easiest thing to go buy. Buy you an apartment. At least you got somewhere to go if it gets bad. You understand what I'm saying? Because America's going down in a lot of ways. It's not the same like it was when I was a child. I mean, the filth that's even allowed in this society is horrible. When you go to countries and all this stuff that's going on, that's just, it's wicked. But I know some people like, I ain't going nowhere. My family bones are buried here. You ain't thinking about that family member. Stop with that crap. That family member is gone. They gone. They with their ancestors. There you go. With the Lord, whatever you want to say. They are not here no more. That's not won't hold me back. I got plenty of family members that are buried here. I got my memories of them, but I'm not gonna hold on to know this place just because my family's buried here. So kind of crap is that? To me, that's how I feel about it. What kind of crap is that? My family want me to do good and build a legacy for the family members and others who are going to come behind me. I would never tell my children, don't you go anywhere because my bones was here. Nobody says that crap. Just say you fearful. You don't know how it feels to be away from the white supremacists. Because that's what a lot of it is for you anyway. A lot of you scared to be around black people because the white supremacists taught you to fear black people. That's a lot of it. A lot of you don't know how to be outside of the white supremacist foot on your neck. That's a lot of it too. And I don't really bring these messages to you too much because too many of you are hard-headed. But some of you have listened to these messages, and some of you have messaged me and said, Phil, I got my passport, I took my first trip with my family. I did this and that and the third. Hey, man, I'm going to sign up for the Ghana trip. Shoot, I want to see that at least for myself. Because I just want to make sure I've seen something outside of just dealing with the crap with the white supremacists. So that's why when that brother said that at least I know I told you and I sleep good at night, I understand why. Because he do care about what happens to black people. He cares. But he knows that I need to move around. And he's a young man and have nothing restricting him at the time. Well, shout out to our brother. Just putting out a warning out there. But let me know what y'all think about, what our brother's talking about here. And y'all know everything's going down. It's nothing's going up right now. Y'all know this. This place is getting crazier and crazier about a day, and it's just not conducive for black people, in my opinion.